Not bad, not bad. We can display multiple images for every product. So if I'm going to navigate back to the homepage where I have the featured one, since I haven't set up the products page, and if we'll take a look at the entertainment center, again, we have the main picture, and then we have a bunch of smaller images. But of course, as we're clicking on image, we're changing the main one as well. So that's good. I mean, we got that one out of the way. Now I want to focus on stars. If you remember from the API, we get two pieces of data. We have number of stars, and that is going to be between 0 and 5. So whether that it's 4.5 or 3.6 or I don't know 4.9, something along those lines. And then also we have a number of reviews. Now when it comes to stars, I would want to display some nice icons. So of course, if I have 4.5 stars, then I would want to have 4 full stars. And then if, let's say there's a half star, then of course, I'll display the half star. So now let me take a look. Maybe there's one with less stars, and there it is. For example, this one has only 1.5 stars, so that's why I have one full one, one half, and then the rest of them are empty stars. So that's what we're going to be working on right now. Now, there are two approaches to this one. First, we'll start with a manual one, and then in the next video, we'll set up a programmatic way how we can display those stars. So after that, you can pick and choose. If you like the manual approach, you can leave it there. If you like the programmatic one, of course, you can use that one instead. Now, when it comes to manual, we'll have to do a little bit of work. That's all. There's going to be a little bit more copy and pasting. So at the moment, we have stars. There's nothing in there. However, we would need to pass in two things. We would need to pass in those reviews that are coming from the product as well as the stars. So now, of course, I would want to navigate to my product. So this is where I was showing the product, of course, or I'm sorry, my apologies, single product, because remember, that's where we're displaying. So we have single product component. And then in that single product, remember, we've got the images, we've got the stock and add to cart as well as the stars. So now I would want to pass in the stars data that is coming from the product as well as the reviews. Sorry, I'm a little bit all over the place. I went to the product first. Actually, we needed a single product and we pass here stars as a prop, and that's going to be equal to my stars. And also I'll pass in the reviews. I'll say reviews is equal to my reviews. Now, if you want a console log, please definitely do so. And I think in this case, I'm going to do it as well. So say in the stars component, I'm looking for my stars prop as well as the reviews prop. And in here, let's just start with console log, stars, and then reviews. And in the console, and by the way, I'll close the sidebar here. If I navigate to, I don't know, this one, the first one, I should see the images since that's what we worked on. And then in the console, you can see that I have 4.9 and 12. So the stars are 4.9 and then the amount of reviews is 12. And of course, we can do the same thing. And by the way, at the moment, we'll navigate to products. We have nothing in there. So let me navigate back to the home. And I believe this one was 3.6 and then 100 reviews. And I think I'm going to work in this one because, of course, here we'll see more variations of the stars. There's going to be some full ones, there's going to be some half ones, and some empty ones as well. So in the entertainment center, what I would want to do right now in the stars is just set up my wrapper. Here it is. I have all the styling right here. So we're going to go here with the wrapper. And inside of this wrapper, we're going to have two divs. And by the way, you know, I can get rid of this console log now. And inside of this div, or I'm sorry, inside of this wrapper, which is a div, we're going to have two more divs, like I just said. And one is going to have the class name of stars. So this is where we'll set up our stars initially manually. And then the second one will be reviews. Now, reviews is going to be somewhat straightforward, where we just go with the class name here and we'll say reviews like so. And here I would just want to showcase the amount of reviews and add a little bit of text. Now place everything in parentheses because I just think it's going to look a little bit better. So I'll say here reviews. So I'm accessing the prop, whatever the value is. And then we'll say customer and then reviews. And we should see the paragraph with the text of 100 customer reviews. Beautiful. So now, of course, we would need to work on stars. And the way we'll set up these stars is going to be in the following way. So we'll start by span, and eventually there's going to be key when we're setting up the programmatic way. But in this case, I don't care about it. I'll add a comment because, in my opinion, it's going to be a little bit easier. So say here star, and maybe I'll add another comment, end of star. And then as far as the span, we just need to check, well, what is the value for the stars? And this is going to be the case where we'll have to copy and paste this 5 times. Because at the end of the day, there's going to be 5 stars, whether they're full, whether they're half. I mean, if half, most likely it's going to be only 1, or they're empty. So we need to understand that there's going to be 5 stars. And for every value from 1 to 5, I would want to check what is the actual value in the stars. And then depending on that, I'll display the full one, the half one, or the empty one. And I think it's going to be easier if we just start working on it. So instead of the span, I'm going to set up right now my expression. And I'll say if the star's value is bigger or equal to 1, then I would want to have my ternary operator. And if the value is true, then I'm going to display the full one, which is going to be this class, or I'm sorry, I guess more precisely this component, the star fill. And if not, then we'll set up another ternary operator. So there's going to be 2 ternary operators. Notice how we start over here. We say stars is bigger than 1. Well, if that is the case, then I would want to display my icon. And for the time being, let's just set up null if that is not the case. And in a second, we'll set up another ternary operator. So in here, I'll just say null. And what you should notice is 1 star. Why? Well, because I know that this value, of course, is bigger than what? Well, it is bigger than 1. And in this case, it is, I believe, 3.6, correct? So now, of course, we would just need to copy and paste this one and then copy and paste 5 times. And eventually, of course, if it's 3.6, by the end, there's going to be a other option where it is not bigger than 3, 4, or whatever. So what I'm trying to say here is that there's going to be another ternary operator. We have a first one that just checks for the value of 1, so bigger or equals to 1. Then I'm going to have my full star. If not, then, of course, I'm going to have to set up one more ternary operator. And that is something we haven't done, but again, this is just JavaScript at the end of the day. So if it is bigger or equal to 1, then display the star. If not, then set up one more ternary operator. And in here, I'll say if stars is bigger or equal to 0.5. Because this is going to be the case where I would want to display that half star or the empty one. And again, I set up my question mark for my ternary operator. And in this case, I'm going to go with half if that is true. And then with the empty one, with the component of just BC star, if it is not true. So we just go here with BC and then star, like so. So if that is the case, then of course we display the empty star. Now, of course, at the moment, we just have 1 full star, correct? And of course, this is going to be the case where we need to start copy and pasting because we need to have 5 stars. Now, every time we copy and paste, of course, we'll have to change these values around as well. So first time I copy and paste. And for the second star, of course, I'm going to be looking for the value that is bigger than 2, correct? Because that second star is going to be responsible for the value of 2. And I'm going to go to 2, and this is going to be 1.5. And like I said, essentially what we'll have to do is just copy and paste, and eventually by the 5th star, hopefully the value will change. Now in this case, of course, it's going to change in this one, in the 3rd one. So in here, let's copy and paste. And now full star, if it is bigger than 3, or I'm sorry, it's going to change actually in the next one. My bad. So if it is bigger or equal to 3, and we know that this value is, of course, going to be 3.6, then display the full star. If not, well, then display the half one. Now, again, this is going to work But now let's think about it. If we'll copy and paste one more time, now I'm going to be looking for the value that is bigger than 4, correct? Now, is my stars bigger than 4? Well, it's not. Why? Because I know that it is going to be 3.6. All right. So this is going to be the case where the value won't be true. So in our ternary operator, I won't display the full star. So now, of course, I'll have to check if the stars is bigger than 3.6. Or I'm sorry, yeah, 3.5. And of course, in this case, it's going to be bigger than 3.5. I already know that it is 3.6. So now I'll display the half star. And now once we copy and paste this one more time, so this is going to be the 5th time, of course, now the value won't be equal to 5, correct? Because we know that stars is equal to 3.6. Now in this case, we can remove bigger than, because we know that our views won't be bigger than 5 stars, or you can keep it. It doesn't really matter. It's not going to affect the functionality. And we just change this one to 4.5. Again, like I mentioned previously, this is a manual approach. And by the way, it says here equal, should be like this, since I changed my value. That's why I said you can might as well keep it bigger or equal to 5. Otherwise, it's not going to make sense. Otherwise, I'm just setting it equal to 5. And now check it out. My value is 3.6, correct? That's the value for the stars. And I have 5 spans. And each span is just looking for a specific value. It starts with 1. So if the stars is bigger than 1, then I display the full star. If the stars is bigger than 2, then of course I display 2 stars. And I go on and on and on. And eventually, of course, I'm going to come to the point. And in this case, it was at star number 4, where the value is not bigger or equal to 4. So this is not going to be anymore a full star. But however, it is bigger than 3.5, correct? And since it is bigger than 3.5, we display the half one. But then once we come to the last one, to the star number 5, there, of course, the value is not equal to 5. So this is going to right away go to the second ternary operator. And also in the second ternary operator, this is not true. Stars is not bigger or equal to 4.5. So I'm not going to display one more half star. That's why I go to the empty one. And you just need to understand that the functionality will work with any value that we have for the stars. Of course, the difference is going to be if, for example, my value is, 1.2, then I'll just display one span and then the rest of them will fail. And of course, I'll just show empty stars. Again, this is a manual approach where we just need to copy and paste. In the next video, I'll set up a programmatic way where we don't have to copy and paste the same span 5 times.